All right, Brandon Pope, Ebony Magazine. What's up, Corey?
What's up, Brandon? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Hey, sorry, been doing. I know you've been shuffling around a lot and all that, so I appreciate you taking the time because I know these press days can be a lot of work.
There's joy, man. Honestly, it's not work, brother. This is we get to do what we love, right? Like you doing what you
Yeah.
love, I doing what I love, and I love that poster up on yeah, that painting, man, is beautiful. That's my brother.
Rest in peace, Chadwick. Yes,
Yes,
indeed,
indeed.
man. His impact. Uh, Congrats to you on this film, man. I haven't got a chance to check it out yet. I think I'm going to watch it next week for the
Okay.
screen. But I didn't know you had the theater background. I didn't know you appeared on Broadway with 6 Degrees of Separation. You had a Tony nomination, then
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet. So what's it like for you to get back into the theater world in a sense? But it's like it's a film though.
Yeah, man. It's I guess that's the crazy thing with with musicals and on film. It's a joy, brother. Like I grew up in the theater. Like that's kind of where I cut my teeth at. On Broadway, off Broadway, off Broadway, workshops, grinding in New York. And funny enough, In the Heights was when I got to New York, the first I had seen plays on Broadway, but you know, Broadway's about musicals. And In the Heights was the first musical that I had ever seen on Broadway. So talk about like an introduction to, you know, to musicals and in the great white way they call, you know, Broadway. That was my introduction. Lin-Manuel Miranda In the Heights and Chris Jackson, you know, playing Benny, you know, In the Heights. I also
Yeah.
lived in the Heights too. And so like there was just this sort of kismet that I sort of felt with this particular show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it all kind of came full circle for you.
A little bit, man. I'm still kind of pinching myself because I'm like, you know, everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. And I firmly believe that the universe sort of, you know, you just got to get out of the way of it and let it do its thing. You got to work and pursue the things you want. But this was a dream of mine. And I'm just, you know, to be able to stretch, like you said, to do Straight Outta Compton and then go do Black Klansman and then show people I can sing and all of those things. It's fun, man. It's fun.
Yeah, and I didn't know you could sing either. I'm just like, man, this you a talented brother. Like, shouts out to
Thank you.
you.
Thanks. My grandfather said the same thing when he saw the movie. He was like, I didn't know you could sing like that either. I was like, well, dang, granddad, tell me how you really feel.
Not even granddad knew.
Yeah, yeah, man.
So you mentioned that this is, you've been cutting your teeth in theater. Do you remember what your first ever theater role was? Like, did it go all the way back to like when you were a little kid?
Oh man, I remember there's specific moments I do remember. I remember working on working with Richard Wesley and at Duke Ellington School of the Arts in DC. That was a huge moment for me. I think, you know, I used to do like, I did like Showtime at the Apollo when I was a kid with Steve Harvey, like, and Jasmine Sullivan was on my same show. Like I did like the Nickelodeon house band with like Paul Schaefer. So I used to do fun stuff, but I never thought that I would ultimately go on to like be a singer, like, you know. So I remember specifically at Juilliard with Daniel Brooks, who was in Orange is the New Black, and like played Mahalia Jackson. We did Raising in the Sun for our senior year at Juilliard. And then, you know, most recently, 6 Degrees of Separation on Broadway. And just blessed, man, to like working with Katori Hall, who did P-Valley early on at school. And you know, so just blessed to work with these luminaries, man.
It's a small world. It really is, man.
It is. The people you see on your way up, sometimes the same people you see on the way down, or like, you know, we're all in this together. And I'm realizing how special it is, especially making this movie, like with this cast, like how special, how special it is to the filmmaking process and how personal it is, man, and how much you reveal about who you are and what you have to offer to the world. Like, you know what I mean? In terms of activism, in terms of what you have to say, everybody has their way of doing things. And this just happens to be mine. You know?
That's awesome, man. You also mentioned that you lived in Washington Heights,
Yeah.
where the film is actually set. So how does this film capture that neighborhood feel? Does it do a good job of that for you?
It does an excellent job of that, man. It's more so than obviously like any other film. I mean, it's historic in that way. For me, that's just where I, would go back and lay my head. That's where I could go after going down to Juilliard and having to code switch and having to go downtown and exist in a world that sometimes didn't feel like what I recognize as something personal to me, to be able to go back to that community and say, wow, this feels like Southeast DC where I grew up. This feels like, this, so this feels like that, and have that similarity. The food, the culture, the language, everything about it. Grandma upstairs waking me up Sunday morning with the, like, I just loved it, man. I loved it. Like, it was just, I felt seen, man, and I felt heard, and you felt like we saw each other, you know what I mean? And all of those similarities and differences. When you see it, you'll kind of understand, but also it shows the beautiful side of it. Sometimes it's always one thing, and sometimes it's a negative thing or whatever, but we get to revel in the beauty, you know what I mean? And we get to revel in the facets of everyday life, a slice of life,
That's huge, man. I'm when you look at the cast, it's a great moment for the Latino community. You're the only Black person though in the starring cast. As Black people, we're used to being the only Black person, but it's a little different when you're, only Black person with some white people, only Black person with some people of color, right?
Yes.
So what's that experience been like for you?
But that's the crazy thing. It's like, I didn't feel like, this was one of the first times I went to work and didn't have to code switch or feel like I needed to be something other than who I was. Like, when I walked into the hair and makeup trailer, I didn't have to worry that they weren't going to know what to do with all of this, and my skin color and complexion. And I didn't have to worry about, just stepping on people's toes and not feeling wanted. Like, this cast became like family to me. Like, we would joke and make jokes about, like, my Spanish, and that's the funny thing, because Benny in the film, or in the original Broadway show, is trying to, like, learn Spanish, and he's not great at it, but he's like, trying to be a part of the community and help lift the community. Benny came to the Heights, and he sort of came to the Heights and found that as his home, whereas some of the other characters are trying to wrestle with, getting out, because that's what a lot of us wrestle with, like getting out of the community, going away to try to make it, you know what I mean? But Benny revels in, like, the beauty of lifting up that community, and I think that's so beautiful, and so it just made me feel it at home every day on set, man. Like, we were just having fun.
That's allyship in action.
That's right.
I love to hear that, man. We got 1 more minute left, so I gotta figure out the best possible closing question. Let me get my LeBron 3-point shot against Steph Curry ready.
I might give you a quick answer and give you another one too. So
here we go. What was it like for you working with LinManuel Miranda?
Oh shit! Now that's a long answer. I don't know, man.
Take your time, then. Take your time. It's a big one.
Lin is one of those once in a lifetime genius beings, and a giving soul, and he gives through his work. Like, his work is his contribution. Macduff in Shakespeare, he says, "My voice is in my sword," and Fran McDormand used that in her Oscar speech this past. But like, her voice, Lin's voice is in his sword, is in his work. That's where his strength lies, and his work lies in his roots, in his community. Man, we were on set, and we would be shooting one of the park scenes, and we see Lin walking through the park with his kid because he's taking him to daycare, because he still lives in that community, because that's his home. We would be, I'd be in the studio with Lin, and Lin would be like, "You know what, Corey, let's change this lyric." I'm like, "Change the lyric? Like, bro, this is iconic." Like, and he's like, I mean, it's iconic because he wrote it, so of course he could change the lyrics. So Lin's like, "You know what? Let me hop on Twitter and see what the fans think it should be." And literally, he would hop on Twitter. The fans would say, "It should be this. It should be that. It should be this." And Lin would say, "Yeah, I think that's dope." and it's in the movie, like literally, and I'm sitting there like, what? Like, so he's just he's incredible, man. And he gave us the ability to be leading actors and actresses and artists in this. And there's no other gift that a creator can give an actor but the permission to just be yourself and tell the story. And so I'm just honored to work with him, Kiara, John, our entire creative team of people of color too. It's just a beautiful thing, man. And it's something I'll forever be grateful for. So it's our little time capsule that we're now giving to the world, a little secret, this magic of the heights, and with this incredible cast. And I'm thankful.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations to you. Awesome to see you shining, and I can't wait to watch the movie. I think I'm watching it Monday, so I can't wait.
Oh, word! All right. Well, I hope you like it, man. Next time we talk, let me know what you think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have a great day, okay?
All right, you too, Brandon. Appreciate it.